Man, I got one buddy that we talk about a lot of, life stuff and improvement, like personal development.
Mm-hmm.
And like, man, I was getting to the point where I was getting kind of off the life things. When I mean by life, where it's about learning about emotions or how to deal with certain people or, stuff like that, personal development type things.
Sure.
And I was too fixated on my craft. Like, I knew it's okay to be on my craft, but also we have a life too.
100%.
If you can't get your mental state right or your overall purpose of, your purpose for the next week or the next month or the next year, if you don't got that together either, it's gonna be hard for you to even work day to day.
Right.
And so I kind of got off that. And my friend, he told me, he said, don't neglect the life stuff.
Yeah.
Cause we got books and stuff on it.
Exactly.
He said, don't neglect it. Like, that's what's gonna get you through when you in the winters.
Right.
If that's like the quote from Jim Rohn.
Yeah, I know.
He said, when you get into the winters, you're gonna be fine because you done prepped yourself, your mind for it.
Exactly.
So, of course, you might not be where you want to be physically or however it is.
Yeah.
But your mind will know how to handle it. So he always, I'll never forget. That was probably about a couple months ago. He said, don't neglect it. And so, like, what you was saying, what you was doing with your book, it's like with your books or your podcast. I like that because you're gonna need that when you get 30, when you get 40.
Oh yeah.
I realized it's I heard that as you listen to certain older people, because I'm 22 by the way.
Right.
So when I listen to older people, I realized it's like stages in it.
Yeah.
And even my buddy, he was telling me it's stages. When you get to my age, you're gonna be in a whole different mindset.
Yeah.
He was even telling me about money. Like you'll look at money a whole different like you do. You'll probably have it, but like it won't be your biggest thing. And he was telling about like midlife crisis. Being young, you don't think none of that. Like,
you don't.
Like,
man.
What is it? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so he told me about it, and he gave me scenarios that people he knew when they got into him, what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And when he told, like, why would they do that? But it's simple. Like, they don't have nothing, no life, no books that help them understand themselves or their current situation. So like when they got into them situations, they didn't know what to do.
Exactly.
So they kind of plummet for a little bit. And so like, man, he really opened my eyes with that. And as far as like with the music and things too, like I look at music as where, of course, you don't want to listen too much of it.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that what you do when you in your car or when you saying, sometimes I need to turn it off. Because it kind of just it puts you on autopilot when you listen. It does,
yeah.
I realized that too. And every time you listen to, like you said, you listen to a book or you meditate, you feel better about your day.
Absolutely.
And so like, that's why I always try to encourage people like, if we on that topic, of course, try to listen to this book. Cause like, I have so many books. It's ridiculous. And still getting new ones. But I realize every time I try to learn something in that realm, like it makes my day a whole lot better. Like it gets brighter outside.
Right.
The grass get greener.
Absolutely.
It's weird how that works, but like even outside smells better.
Exactly.
It's kind of crazy how that works. But once you experience that and actually trying to get in that spirit where, okay, I want to better myself. I want to understand myself better.
Yeah.
Because once you get that true meaning and that true understanding about yourself, anything else you do, of course, this might be a little hard because you first started, but it's going to be easy. It's going to make the process a lot easier.
Exactly.
So, but I love that. I love that daily routine. I love that the simple fact how you understand that you can have an effect on your family just by being that way. Because I feel like I won't say all, but like some people, they get in that sense where they can, they let their emotions get in control. You know, or their ego get in the way.
Exactly.
Where it could have handled it different. And don't realize that your emotions don't define you in that moment. So, because I always hear people like, I'm not good enough or I won't be able to do it. If you saying it to yourself, of course, you're going to think that regardless. You're just going to live that.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And so like I could bring my brother in here right now. I could tell him and I can ask him, what's 2 words you never hear me say? He'll tell you. You'll never hear me say I can't.
Uh-huh.
Never say I wish.
Right.
Because like, And I always showed him that every time I don't use them words. Same thing about the studio. Prime example. I never wished for the studio.
You did it.
I never wished for it. Right. I said I'm gonna end up having one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that was one of it.
Yeah,
basketball player.
Law of attraction.
I wanted to be well known in this area. And I never did say I wish. I never did say I can't. So eventually, guess what happened? I couldn't go out into the gas station or Walmart without being stopped.
Exactly. Yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but I had that where I got rid of the word can't. I got rid of the word wish.
Right.
Because that's something that my mentors taught me. Like, you don't gotta wish for it. Why you wishing?
Yeah. Right.
You can have it.
Right.
Like you don't have to. And why you say you can't when you know you can?
Exactly, dude.
And so that's just my thing about it. And I always let young people know too that you just as important as everybody else.
Absolutely.
Like literally,
dude, they're the future. Yeah.
You are.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Some young people, they don't see it, of course, because how their lives are, but they are just as powerful.
Yeah.
They're just as, like I said, important. Just as smart, really.
Yeah.
A lot of people have no idea how smart they are.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
They have no idea. Of course, you might not be like this person and that, because that what makes us different anyway.
Sure.
But I realize, like, man, I talk to a lot of people where they just and I tell them, like, you are a genius.
Right.
Whether you know, like, for real, I like not just telling them that to hype them, but like genuinely, like, nah, man, you just need the right resources for you to keep going forward. That's it.
Right.
Like and I mean by resources is just, it could be just information.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Information is so key. And I feel like that's what I wouldn't say everybody, but most of us is just lacking at times where we're in the moment where we just need just a little bit of information. That's it.
Absolutely.
And so, but yeah, that's all. I try to keep my information flowing to me, keep that learning ongoing, because I know I'm gonna have a situation where I'm gonna be stuck.
Yeah.
But I won't be stuck because I'm gonna be like, oh, I remember I read this, or
right.
Oh, I remember this happened to that person. But yeah, man, like I said, I love that, and I love that you do that.
Yeah.
But I want to get into the trending part of fitness. Like,
sure.
Is there like is there like any particular trends or diets that you think is overhyped? You probably already said some. But do you know any like that you think that is overhyped, like any fitness?
Yeah, sure. So
workouts, anything.
Right. I was talking about fitness. Any kind of fitness is good fitness. Any kind. That person who, gets it in after work, walking for 30 minutes. Yeah. Is doing just as much as that person who wakes up at 5 a.m. and runs, 6-10 miles. Fitness is fitness, whether you lift, whether you CrossFit, Orange Theory, body build, power lift, run, triathlon, swim, whatever you do, it's fitness. It's good, it's positive. You're moving the body for the better of yourself, right? Yeah. Now, diets and everything, I don't know about any overhyped. I think there's a lot of misconceptions. Then again, I'm not a dietitian, but my thing is, you ask yourself, I hear people all the time, and I'm not knocking any of these diets, but I'm telling you why in a minute. I have a lot of people come up to me, and ask me, and I'm like, hey, look, I'm not a dietitian. I can give you some pointers on what I've done, but ultimately, so forth. So you got to, check with your doctor, dietitian. But, a lot of people come up to me, hey, Josh, I'm going to do this keto diet, man, or, I'm whatever. And, I'm going to do intermittent fasting, or, I'm going to do the diet that you did to lose this weight and everything. And, and I was like, okay, well, what are your goals with it? I want to live a healthier lifestyle, or I want to trim down so I can, look good and feel good and, go to the beach and take my shirt off and feel proud of myself, But what a lot of people fail to understand is the best diet is the one that's effective, that is sustainable. Keyword sustainable.
Yes.
Keyword. So my question to that person is, how long do you think you can stay in ketosis? If they're doing the keto diet, if they're intermittent fasting, you know, or something like that. I'm like, hey man, you know, that's great. I'm all for you doing that, but you know, just to get them thinking. I'm like, you know, how long do you think you can keep this up for? Do you think it's sustainable? You know, and that's why I eat the way I do, which is kind of called flexible dieting.
Right.
You know, I don't count macros. I understand. I don't know how much, but I understand how many calories I should get in. Like, you know, I'm going to eat more on a day that I run 10 miles versus a day that I run 4 miles or 3 miles or 2 miles. You know, that day I run 10 miles, I'm eating, baby. I'm eating. You know, I'm getting home, eating eggs, you know, toast, pancakes, you know, followed by some yogurt. You know, at lunch, I'm eating, you know, whatever, you know, leftovers or whatever. My wife is a phenomenal cook. Oh, my gosh, man. She's half Latina, too, man. So she can whip up some Mexican food and American food, man.
I already know it, man.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Love me some El Pastor, carne asada, but man, she can whip up a burger too.
Shout out to the wife, man.
Man, wives are great, dude. They're great, man. Absolutely great.
I love it.
But yeah, dude, that's kind of my thing, man. It's more so a misconception other than overhyped, and I'm not knocking any diet. I think, you know, I if it fits your lifestyle and it's sustainable and it's gonna get you not only the weight benefits, the health benefits. When I say health, I'm not talking about losing your gut or anything like that. I'm talking about, you know, your heart, your organs, your brain, your how do you feel, you know, how do you function, how do you sleep? When you wake up in the morning, do you have a headache? Right. You know, may need to drink some more water right before bed, you know, so forth and so on. You know, a lot of people just have this misconception, man. I think, you know, the more people ask, research, talk, and read, you know, read books and try to understand and better themselves and educate themselves, the better off they'll be, you know, and the more educated they'll be when it comes to dieting, the way they're going to understand more of what I'm saying. I haven't ever read a diet book. I don't know. I've researched some diets and everything. I've lived through some diets, but at the end of the day, I know what works best for me. I don't have a 6-pack abs. You know, I don't care to have 6-pack abs because I like my burgers and I like my pizza, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to, you know, count my calories or my macros. That's not the lifestyle I want. I want to be healthy, but also enjoy the foods that I eat. And you can do that, you know, with, you know, whatever percentage you throw at it. You know, I just kind of use 90-10 for an example, but you know, whatever that percentage is that I eat clean, you know, most of the time I eat clean. Throughout the week, kind of the rule of thumb is I eat clean throughout the week. Mm-hmm. And then on the weekends is kind of when I cut up. Yeah. You know, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday after church, whatever. Yeah. I do cut up then. Those are kind of my cheat meals. Like I said, last night I had a steak and potato. You know, that's a great meal. It was kind of fatty. You know, I had some fried tomatoes and stuff like that. It's fatty. It wasn't the best thing. You know, but all week I've been eating, you know, pretty good, you know?
I'm the same way. Like, I get a pop, but it's like, I don't do it every day.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, man, you just reminded me, like, I seen a video on how, you know, how it's harder for some people to lose the weight because I think I don't want to say it wrong. I don't want to say it wrong at all. But I know I seen this video and it made a lot of sense where if you constantly eating that, you know, the pops or, you know, eating that type of way, what's happening to your body can't get rid of it. It can't burn it.
Yeah. So
like when it takes time to process it. I think it's fat. I can't really remember the term. Yeah. But this is something I just seen. and so like when you eat that, let's say you drank a pop today and the next day you drank a pop and with a nice meal.
Yeah.
That food you ate yesterday is not really processed, it's stored.
Yeah. And
so what happened, you're not giving your body enough time to get, you know, to process it properly.
Exactly.
And so what caused that is fat.
Right. No, I totally get it.
I was like that makes total sense because if we eat fast food or, you know, however you eat every day, you're not giving your body enough time. Yeah. And I think that's what happened with my buddy when he went on that diet. He allowed that fat to being processed and broke down.
Right.
Whether when he used to eat it didn't have enough time.
Yeah, dude.
And so that's why I seen that video. I thought that was neat. I was like, man, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So just be on that diet. So cheating every now and then. Like I said, I cheat. I eat ice cream. I love ice cream.
Yeah.
Love ice cream. You want to make me happy? Just say something about ice cream. I'm
Hey,
gonna
dude,
smile. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna get ice cream. So
Exactly.
like a little kid. But
Yeah.
I get an ice cream in probably a week or two later.
Yeah.
And like that's what I do. And I tell my brother, like, yeah, get something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's different.
It's really
different for everybody.
Exactly. It's really according to your purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to be a bodybuilder, I wouldn't be saying the things I'm saying now and eating the things I mean. If I want to be a power lifter, I would have to change my diet. You know, if I wanted to be, if I wanted to run a sub, 3-hour marathon, I would have to change my diet for that. But right now, I've got a half marathon in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
But a half marathon is a big deal. Don't get me wrong, but it's something that I can continue the diet that I'm eating now. See, a full marathon. Let me say this, a full marathon is so much more than a half. So much more. It's insane, man. My marathon, I did my first marathon this past February the 2nd,
Really?
I think. Yeah. In Birmingham, Alabama, of all places. Like, so Birmingham is beautiful. Like, my sister lives there. I love Birmingham. The food there is like on point. My goodness, man. The food
That's
there.
so true, man. Yeah,
Dude.
Yeah.
You talking about diet? Dude, I go to Birmingham, forget a diet, man. I'm eating, dude. I'm eating,
nice,
man.
It is.
Yeah. But, my Birmingham's Healy is what I'm trying to get at when I say Birmingham. In my first marathon was in Birmingham. But, dude, you want to get broken? You do a marathon. And when I say broken, I'm not talking about like just like beaten down and in the negative way. I'm talking about broken in a positive way. Like, this something gonna broke me down and made me break through. It broke me down so I can break through, right? Marathon taught me a lot of things, man. First of all, I raced stupid and I ate stupid. No, I had a coach, man. I had a coach. He was a great coach. I didn't really follow his strategy, which, I mean, obviously, like any coach, he didn't have to say anything,
Right.
Like, he was happy. Like, okay, so my goal was 4 hours, and I did a 4-hour and 7-minute marathon. That's solid. I'll take that. I mean, my goal is 4 hours, but dude, if I go 7 minutes over for a big accomplishment like that, I am straight. I am good. I am happy. Am I satisfied? Do I want more? Heck yeah, man. I'm doing another one next year at some point.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is the first half marathon. I blitzed it, man. I did my PR for a half marathon is 1 hour and 45 minutes. That's PR is personal record, PB personal best, PR PB same thing. I came through the half marathon in 1 hour and 55 minutes. I can't remember. But I mean, that's pretty fast. I mean, sub 2 hour half marathon is pretty good.
Yeah.
Or really good, actually. But for me, I could, it was fast considering I had a whole nother 13 miles to go. So about mile 18, my legs were heavy. My legs were heavy. The psychological doubts started setting in. And by mile 20, I think it's like halfway through mile 20, I started cramping. And my, doing a marathon, you have a race belt around and you have different goos and everything. Mustard, just regular old yellow mustard you put on a hot dog.
Right.
Is a miracle worker when it comes to cramps. So I had a couple packets of mustard in there and I started cramping my legs. I was like, oh gosh, he really takes some mustard. Dude, didn't do nothing. Didn't do jack squat to me, bro. And I came to an aid station. I think it was like mile 22 or something like that.
Yeah.
I was messed up, man. Like, I was cramping, full body cramps, lower body and everything. And, I was like, do y'all have anything, any salt tablets? Like, no. They had bacon, pigs in a blanket and stuff, and and they had that there to replenish sodium levels and, to eat. Me, I can't eat any solid foods, especially when I'm, in the midst of a marathon, suffering really bad.
Heck yeah.
But they had mustard, a whole thing of mustard, I was like, I didn't even ask, dude. I grabbed that thing, popped the top, and guzzled the heck out of it. And it was nasty. Like, I know it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Trust me, it was horrible. But I was in such desperation to get rid of them cramps. I didn't daggone care what it was, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, half a mile down the road, I chased it with 2 shots of pickle juice. That was all right. The cramps started easing up. They didn't go away. But I'm saying this, I'm going to get to my point here in a minute. But that last mile, my marathon, or let me say this, that I'm going to get to the last mile. But the last 6 miles in the marathon, I wanted to quit. The only reason I didn't quit is because my wife and my son, who were there supporting me, deserved to see my success and finish the marathon. I put through, it wasn't hard or anything, but I was absent. My time away from my wife and my kid, in the mornings that I could have been spent with them, I owe that back to them by completing my marathon. And I'm all about leading by example and setting an example for my son. What kind of a person would I be to start out my son's life with his dad being a quitter or something he put so much effort and time into?
Yeah.
So you got to find things that motivate you in the midst of when you want to quit, when you want to throw in the towel, and you've got to find a motivator.
Yeah.
You got to reach down to the depths of your soul and pull it out. Mine was pretty good, but I didn't think about it like that until, I was like, I'm a wife in here. I'm doing it for them, but why? Why am I doing it for them? I mean, I love them. Don't get me wrong, but what, Josh, what's your deep meaning behind that? What's your deep meaning behind, I'm doing it for them? Well, my deep meaning is they deserve that, but that last mile, I was so jacked up. And Ellie Kipchoge, the guy I was referring to earlier, he was like, you'll see him in the marathons. He smiles. I look like a freaking goofball, strolling down, the last mile, smiling and everything. If you look at my video, my Instagram page, I posted a couple times. I was like, crossing the finish line. I wasn't smiling because I felt good. I was smiling because I was trying to relax my body. I was enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
Dude, I was so jacked up. I felt like I'd taken like a couple shots of whiskey or something. Like I was like, my body was so depleted. And well, on top of that, Keyshawn, I didn't, like I was telling you, excuse me, I didn't follow my coach's racing strategy nor nutrition strategy. My goo, each one of them had 35 milligrams of caffeine. I'm a caffeine junkie, okay? I love caffeine. I kind of operate off of caffeine.
Right.
But I take it as, to help my performance. It's a legal performance enhancer in the fact of it blocks, and I don't know, it blocks something in your head that tells you that you're tired. It blocks something in your head. You can research it on your own time, but it blocks something in your head. It gives you energy. That's how it gives you energy. But I take caffeine, electrolytes, but start off with 200 milligrams of caffeine. Okay. The recommended dose daily is, I think, like 300. Like they capped it at like 300, I think it was. I think a regular 1 cup of coffee has 90, 95. I may be wrong about this. Y'all spot check me, but I think it is. So I start off 200 milligrams. Each one of those had 35 milligrams. And I can't remember how many goos I took, but added it up after the race, not before the race, after the race.
Yeah.
500 milligrams of caffeine.
Really?
Throughout my race.
Whoa.
So what I'm trying to say is I was underprepared. I didn't, when I say underprepared, I'm talking about on the nutritional side. I was ready to go physically and mentally, but because I didn't feed the beast being the body, correctly, I bonked, which bonks means your energy stores are depleted and you don't really have any energy. Lord knows what energy store I was operating on that last 6 miles, but I did it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm telling this story to encourage people to do marathons, because it teaches you so much about your body and your mind. You know, the mental toughness, and the physical toughness it takes, and it's not just a marathon. It could be a 5K. It could be a 10K. It could be a half. It could be a full. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be walking for a mile. It doesn't matter what the physical challenge is in front of you. You have to approach it with full commitment and full dedication, but also the knowing that it's going to get me better. Like, yeah, it may suck in the moment, but at the end of the day, it is so rewarding.
Yeah.
I crossed that finish line so stinking proud of myself. I cried.
I know you did.
It was amazing, dude. And I'm not sitting here bragging about myself. I'm telling this story to influence you and other people. Like, dude, there's so much potential in your life that is untapped, that is there for you to take it. But you have to commit and believe in yourself, you know, in order to do that. And, you know, I don't have all this life thing figured out. You know, I'm talking really good and everything. I'm talking to myself too, man. Everything I say on this podcast is directed to me as well. So,